Greetings, everyone. I'm your favorite church girl, Vibok. Welcome to a brand new week. Not cliche, pregnant with possibilities. I encourage you to take advantage of every opportunity you get because things will happen. We go blow. We're coming to the end of the year, and I just want to encourage you to be alert, be safe, be intentional about everything you're doing now because things are about to shift spiritually, and you have to be aligned properly. Yeah. All right. Let's go into today's video very, very quickly. A few days ago, my kids were down with the flu, and my daughter seemed a bit better, but my son was still kind of down. So on that day, I decided my daughter would go to school while my son stayed home so I can treat him and observe him. Dropped my daughter in school, and I realized my son's hair was a bit bushy. So I said, okay, this could be probably one of the reasons why he's down. So let's go have a haircut. Very, very close to my house. So from there to my house, I decided, okay, let this boy just sit in the front with me. He sat at the front passenger seat. I didn't bother putting him in his car seat. So we drove from the barber shop to my house. Before I continue this story, I'd like you to like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the notification bell so that when I upload, because I do upload every Sunday, you'll be the first to see it. Like this video, drop a comment, and then share so that someone might be blessed by it. You never know. All right, back to my story. So we got to the house, and I wanted to open the gate because I don't have a security man. I left my son in the car. I decided to open the gate, and while I was at it, my son locked himself in the car. My son is 2, by the way. I opened the gate, and he was trapped. I tried to get him to open the door. I called his name. I tapped on the window. Mommy wants to get in. Open the door. Baby, open the door. I tried and tried. I wanted to start getting angry. Baby, open the door. Open the door. Before I went to open the gate, I had turned off the AC, turned off the ignition. I just didn't remove the key from ignition. So the key was in ignition. And I was getting agitated. I was getting anxious. I was losing my mind. Guy, no one opened the door. It was going like into 5-10 minutes, thereabouts. Guy, no open door. I tried, went the other way, went this way. I really didn't know where the spare keys were. So I started to panic. I won't lie to you, I started to panic. And then I noticed 2 guys were walking past, not together. One was a laborer working in one of the houses nearby, and one was a neighbor living down the street that I had never met until that day. And I decided to call their attention. I didn't want to draw attention to myself, but when it had gotten to that point, I like, we were called for help. And then I called the 2 of them apart and I said, please help me. My son has locked himself in the car. And then that's how 2 strangers who didn't know me from Adam decided to drop what they were doing, come to my car. At this point, Baba was already sweating. Hey God, I was like, now this is the part that got me panicky because I had heard of stories where babies, because a child who is like 4 can open the door. Babies say like 2 plus downwards were trapped in the car. And very often it's because the parents left the child in the car to quickly go do something and come back and forgot the child. And then the child suffocated. And in fact, I don't even want to complete that statement. Whew, that was what was crossing my mind. I was scared. I started to cry. I wouldn't lie to you. I started crying. Oh my goodness. The guy who was living down the street said, okay, no problem, madam, calm down. I'll call my panel beater. My panel beater is in the community next to us. Now, what was worse yet was that my phone was also in the car. And my son was even showing me that my phone was ringing. But he couldn't even, okay, wind down the glass, he couldn't. Open the door, he couldn't. Oh my goodness. Literally, I started crying out. So, okay, what? So when my husband couldn't reach me, at this point, in fact, I was lost. I had lost hope. And Elbita was no way in sight. And the boy was sweating. Literally, his whole body was drenched in his sweat. And I started to see the tip of his finger. You know, when you have soaked your fingers in water, like doing laundry for a while, how your fingers begin to squeeze or shrink, sort of. I started seeing his fingers like, oh my goodness. I said, what is going on? What is going on? What is going on? At some point, I said, should we just smash this window? Let's smash this window. So the neighbor opposite, you see how this whole panic confusion thing happened? I couldn't even calm down to think, okay, go to this my neighbor who knows us, who can reach my husband, and my husband will tell me where the spec is. But at this point, I wasn't thinking. It was when the neighbor came out, I was like, madam, what's going on here? Because some other laborers had to come to see what they could do. Other neighbors who were passing, decided to stop to see what they could do. And this neighbor came out, like, because all those other neighbors, I didn't know them. This other neighbor was like, madam, what is going on? I said, my son has locked himself in the car. Thank God you came. Please, can you help me call my husband? Let him tell me where the spare key is. And then he called my husband. My husband told me, madam, calm down, calm down. At this point, Panobita had come, was even trying to see how to open the door, but it wasn't successful. So this was why I lost my hope, why I had lost my patience. And then my husband told me, madam, calm down. Directed me to where the spare key was, and I went, picked the spare key, opened the door. My son was drenched. I held him so tight. I held him. The Panobita was like, madam, see your key, because he removed my key from ignition, And then the guy who helped me open the door with the spare key, they're like, "Madam, take your key." At that point, I wasn't even listening to anything anyone else was saying. I was just happy to be holding my son. You know, at a point, I felt like, is this boy passing out? Is this boy passing out? Is he passing out? Panicking. The panic was not even making me reason properly. It wasn't making me think this and this you could do. I was just, oh my goodness. I was just afraid of the worst that could happen. I was crying. Oh, see me holding my son, but I was crying. I was seriously crying. I couldn't even say anything. They're like, "Okay, madam, it's okay. At least your son is out now. It's okay, madam. Okay, madam, it's okay. Well done." You know, this my neighbor that was opposite that came to help me call my husband. He's like, "Madam, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't?" You could hear the emotion in his voice. But my mind was not even going anywhere straight. My mind was just going to other places, but where it should go. Hey, God. After all that had happened, I decided to calm down. It took me like 3 to 4 minutes to calm down. And then I'm like, thank you. Okay, guy, don't calm down. I took him inside, turned on the AC in the house, and put on cartoon for him. I was sure now that he was okay. Then I drove into the house. My husband now told me that when you're driving with a baby in the car, and you're coming down to do stuff, you don't wind up completely. You don't leave the key in ignition. And, giving me some tips. And as for my son, he would remain in his car seat. Because I was just like, okay, see the house. It's not far. Let's just, please, for children small, use your car seat. Forget about, say we are in Nigeria. Now, here are my tips. Please, let your children use car seats. Forget about this nonsense. We are hard guys. Put your children in car seats. 1. 2, if you're coming down from the car and you just want to pick something, lock the doors, remove your key, lock the doors. As in, even if you're standing beside, remove your key, lock the doors, let your windows be down a little bit, so air can go into the car. A lot can happen in a very short while, God forbid. So let's be conscious. I'm not a careless mother. People who know me know that I'm not a careless mother, but this would have put me in blacklist, God forbid. The Bible says we will not cast our young, and I held on to that. I said, this one, I know what it took me to have this one, so I'm not losing this one. And then please, let's be very, very careful. We have to be intentional about these children. God will give us all it takes to take care of them and grow them till they're independent and able to take care of themselves. God will help us. Oh, God will help us. It's the grace of God alone. Well, that being said, I just want to remind us that the year is coming to an end. We have a month and a few weeks, and the year will be over. In fact, it's surprising. When I was small, the year used to be very long. But now, I'm like, okay, it was just like day before yesterday, we entered January 1. And now this is November what? My goodness, the year, time done they fast though. So I just want to encourage everybody to be intentional about everything. Be intentional about yourself, be intentional about your family, be intentional about your spiritual life, be intentional about your health, be intentional about your career, your ministry, everything that concerns you. Be intentional about it. Commit your ways into God and God will prosper it. There is nothing we have achieved without God. There's nothing we can achieve without God. Let God be the captain of your ship, steering the wheel, and everything will be fine. I pray that our week is blessed. Our going out and our coming in is blessed. Everything we put our hands upon will prosper. Whatever we touch will turn to gold. We will pick gold and silver this week. Hey, my goodness. Prosperity is coming to us. Success is ours. Our children will excel in their academics. Everything we do will prosper. People will see us and they will see the glory of God radiating. The glory of God radiating. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And that's how it's going to be this week. God is on our side. My church is having a convention this weekend. Use Google Map. Gospel Life Redemption Church, opposite Old Secretariat. Your Uber can take you. Your map can take you if you're driving. Anyhow, find your way. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. God is going to do serious miracles in this convention. Reverend Isaac Oriaki is going to be the host. Reverend Academy is going to be the guest minister. I'll be there. You'll be there. And before I leave, I hope you've liked this video. Have you commented? Have you shared the video? Please help me share this video so that people can see it. Then like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, click on the notification bell so that when I drop my next video, you'll be the first to see it. Oh God, Sundays are for resting. God knew what he was saying when Sabbath days for rest. I just want to finish with this video and go and sleep. My children are sleeping. Let me say go sleep. On this note, guys, have a wonderful week, y'all. I'm out.